Shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rukakudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right. Through the Spirit, I'm going to go in Isaiah 8:1. It says, "Moreover, Yahweh said unto me, Take thee a great roll and write it with a man's pen concerning Maher Shalal Hashbaz." All right, and the great roll is dealing with the scriptures. Write it down, document it. Mahar Shalal Hashbaz, I looked that up. It means to quickly plunder. And it was basically the reason why he said that, Mahar Shalal Hashbaz, is because Damascus was about to be taken by the Assyrians, right? So we had our people cursed because we're scattered in every nation. So we were in Damascus, we were all over in Samaria, everywhere, and still are to this day. Our people are scattered. But Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, is basically warning the prophet Isaiah, just like we're warning the people, here in Babylon, America, about a war that's about to happen, about the prophecies that are coming, right? It's verse 2. "And I took unto me faithful witnesses to record, Uriah the priest and Zechariah the son of Jeberechiah." And let's get this real quick. It's just like the prophets of ancient, the same thing the prophets in this age, we're warning the people, we're warning the Israelites to repent because it's, Yahweh's about to visit the planet Earth, all right? It says in Ecclesiastes 1:9, it says, "The thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." All right, so there's no new thing. The prophets have always had, Yahweh always puts the Spirit on his prophets to warn the people. So there's no difference between what's happening now with us and then during the time of Isaiah. This is Isaiah 8:3. "And I went unto the prophetess, and she conceived and bare a son. Then said Yahweh to me, Call his name Maher Shalal Hashbaz." All right. So this is actually Isaiah's son that Yahweh told him to name Maher Shalal Hashbaz, which that means to quickly plunder. All right, let's keep reading. "For before the child shall have any knowledge, or shall have knowledge to cry, my father and my mother, the riches of Damascus and the spoil of Samaria shall be taken away before the king of Assyria," which Assyria is basically the same captivity as Babylon, ancient Babylon. It's referred to as the Assyrian Babylonian captivity. "Yahweh spake also unto me again, saying, For as much as this people refuseth the waters of Shiloah, or that go softly and rejoice in Rezin and Remaliah's son, now therefore, behold, Yahweh bringeth up upon them the waters of the river, strong and many, even the king of Assyria, and all his glory. And he shall come up over all his channels, and go over all his banks." So he was getting ready to invade, plunder, take spoils. So Isaiah's job was to prophesy, just like us. We're about to head into these prophecies with the martial law coming, the RFIDC hit coming, and then the final prophecy will be the nuclear war. So we're out here doing the work, and these are modern day epistles, these videos we do to warn the nation of Israel, and really warn the elect, the 1/3, because those are the only ones that are gonna, hearken and believe. meaning listen and believe. It says in verse 8, and he shall pass through Judah, he shall overflow and go over, he shall reach even to the neck, and the stretching out of his wings shall fill the breadth of thy land, O Emmanuel. So there you go. He was going to go through Damascus, Samaria, Judah, which all those places had Israelites. Verse 9, associate yourselves, O ye people, and ye shall be broken in pieces, and give ear. All ye of far countries, gird yourselves, and ye shall be broken in pieces. Gird yourselves, and ye shall be broken in pieces. So, hey, it was destruction, captivity, war, coming into, Yahweh was about to bring judgment on the Israelites. Verse 10, take counsel together, and it shall come to naught. Speak the word, and it shall not stand, for the Most High is with us. So, anybody can take counsel, just like right now. Anybody, the Israelites, they can try and the 2/3, they can try and plan a revolution, or try and plan, anything to keep from the destruction from coming. But the thing is Yahweh, at the end of the day, Yahweh's will is what's going to happen. All right? So you're in the wrong mind spirit if you're not walking in line with, or I shouldn't say walking in line, because no matter what, Yahweh's will is going to be performed. But if you have the idea that you can avoid judgment, or you can avoid the hard times that are about ready to come on, and not just the Israelites, but basically the whole planet Earth. If you think the only thing that we have is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, the only will that's going to be performed is going to be the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, so let's read verse 11. For Yahweh spake thus to me with a strong hand, and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of this people, saying, say ye not a confederacy to all them to whom this people shall say, a confederacy, neither fear ye their fear, nor be afraid. So there's a separation right here. He's telling a confederacy means together. So Yahweh's telling Isaiah, don't try to join the people together. Don't try to unite. Instead, you're going to be coming against them. He's preparing. And just like, he puts a spirit on his prophets, because what we do, we prophesy against many nations and kingdoms. Let me get that real quick. That's all right. Salakia. So let me just look it up on my other phone. That way it doesn't mute me. Hopefully you can hear me right now. So let's see here. That scripture is because the prophets, that's how the Lord's prophets get down. That's how we get down. That we prophesy against many nations and kingdoms, whether we were in the ancient age or we're in the present age. Let me see. Let's go to Jeremiah for this one. Jeremiah 28:8, it says, The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. So there's nothing new under the sun, like we read earlier. So the same thing is happening now. Same thing what it says in Jeremiah, same thing that Isaiah, we're reading it right now. And the same thing with present the prophets in this age. The age that we're in right now, we're out here prophesying about wars and pestilence. And this is going to be that third war, that third woe, which is World War III. But like I said, we know the prophecies all have to be fulfilled. So the World War III is not going to come before the RFID hip is made mandatory. So going back to Isaiah 8, it says, and we're at verse, let's see, verse 12, or no, 13, Salakia. Sanctify Yahweh of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. So he was telling Isaiah, don't fear the people, because you're going to be prophesying against them. He says, fear Yahweh, don't fear the people. And we're talking about the 2/3, the Israelites. We don't fear those people. And there's an account in, Ezekiel 3, maybe? Let me see. Yep. Let me see. I have found what I need, but I wanted to find, there's a verse, I believe, in this chapter that talks about don't fear these people. Don't fear our own people, because we got to prophesy against our own people in this truth. You see? Okay, yeah, there it is. So I'll start at Ezekiel 3 and verse 4. It says, and he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. You see, so same thing now. We're told we're commanded to speak to the house of Israel. Even Yahushua, he was speaking to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And that's the same thing Ezekiel, Isaiah, Jeremiah, the current prophets in this age, we're all doing the same thing. It says in verse 5, for thou art not sent unto a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. All right, so it's not like these people, the Israelites, they don't speak a different language. His prophets speak the same language as the Israelites in all these different time frames, right? Right now, here in Babylon, we speak in English to the Israelites because the majority of the Israelites in America speak English. So they're not speaking a strange speech or a hard language. Verse 6, not to many people of a strange speech and of a hard language whose words thou canst not understand. Surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee. So I was like, hey, shit, the people that don't even know your language, don't even speak your tongue, they would listen better than the Israelites. Because Ezekiel's like all the prophets fixing to prophesy against the Israelites, against his own people. Verse 7, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee. Hearken means listen. For they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted, or hard-minded, hard-headed. Verse 8, behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. So, if you got an Israelite who's in, so-called black, Latino, or Native American, and he's got a Christian doctrine in his head, when he comes up against the true prophets, the true men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, he's not going to hold no weight because he's in a false doctrine. But we're able to, use the scriptures to basically destroy them, And really just the only doctrine that lines up with the Bible is the doctrine of what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So these pagan Christians, they're not their face and their foreheads, because your understanding and your mind is in your forehead. It's not going to be on the same level as a man of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai when it comes to these scriptures and these verses. It says, and as an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. So we're hard-headed for this truth. All right, they're hard-headed, being just stubborn, caught up in false doctrines, but we're hard-headed in this truth. Yes, we're very hard-headed in this truth. All right? Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. You see that? And that was the point. Yahweh commands his prophets not to fear the rebellious house of Israel. Because you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American, you are the most rebellious people on the planet. I mean, Esau's the wicked, but you turn to the wicked for answers instead of turning to the truth. You trust in the wicked. You trust in the devil. You see? So that makes you, super rebellious, according to Yahweh. So now we go back to Isaiah 8, and where am I? I'll start 12 again. It says, say ye not a confederacy to all them to whom this people shall say, a confederacy, neither fear ye their fear nor be afraid. So again, we are not afraid to prophesy to our own people, even though we're giving them we're giving them the truth. But 2/3 of our people are going to be wicked, and they're not going to listen. They're going to remain hard-hearted, hard-headed, stubborn, not hearkening, not listening. Verse 13, sanctify Yahweh of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. So we dread Yahweh. We're more worried about Yahweh Bashem Yahushai than the 2/3. All right? 14, and he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. All right, talking about the Israelites. All right, this truth is a stumbling block, basically. A rock of offense, which this is actually talking about Yahushai, because Yahushai, that's what he is. He was a stumbling block when he was in Rome. Our people didn't believe he was the son of Yahweh. And now his prophets were coming in that same manner. We have to say we're like-minded with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and we're also a stumbling block and an offense to both the houses of Israel and Jerusalem, dealing with northern and southern kingdom, right? Both the so-called black tribes and also the so-called Native American Hispanic tribes. 2/3 of them were going to be a stumbling block and a rock of offense, just like Yahushai was during his time. All right. In verse 15, and many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken. And that's the same thing now. You have 2/3 of our people. They're going to stumble. Why? Because they're going to take that device, that grain of rice in their hand. All right, or in their forehead, the RFID hip. It's going to snare as a trap. That's what that device is. It's going to be a trap. You're trapped. You're an Israelite. You take that thing, and there's no turning back. There's no repentance after that. At that point, if you take one of those devices in your hand or in your forehead, at that point you've made an allegiance with the wicked, and it's a trap, man. And a snare, and you're going to fall and stumble. All right? Let me see. Let me just keep reading. I'm going to keep going. I was going to stop at 15, but let's read 16. Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. The disciples mean students, right? Students of discipline. Who are his students? Those are his men, all right? We're the ones we have the true testimony of the Bible, of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We have the true prophecies. We're able to break down the scriptures, the parables. Nobody else can break down the scriptures the way the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai are able to. Verse 17, and I will wait upon Yahweh that hideth his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. See, so the house of Jacob is another word for the Israelites. So he's hid from the majority of our people. The majority of our people are going to stumble and fall because of that fact. They won't come out of that wickedness. All right? Verse 18, behold, I and the sons whom Yahweh hath given me are for signs and for wonders in Israel from the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth in Mount Zion. And Isaiah is talking about him and the rest of the prophets. We're signs and wonders in Israel. So what are we a sign of? We're a sign of the end in this age. Yahweh has given mercy to the Israelites by putting his prophets, his men, putting the Spirit on us to be able to understand and warn the people. And meanwhile, we're not to fear the Israelites, the wicked 2/3. All right.